If I had to choose one luxury brand for the rest of my life, it would be Dior. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you this full face of Dior makeup. It's no secret around here that I have a little bit of a soft spot for Dior makeup, but today I'm going to be telling you which products I think are worth your money and which ones I think you can skip. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. I've already prepped my skin with my Charlotte Tilbury moisturiser. I'm not using a specific primer today. So I just wanted to let you know that just because I am a Dior fan, it doesn't mean that I like absolutely everything that they release. I will still tell you the truth about every single product. And it's definitely the case with this first product. This is the Diorshow Onset Brow Mascara. I don't like this. No, I don't like it. It retails for €35. Now, I have it in clear, but you can get it in a few different shades. I think there's 5 to choose from. Now, I think some people swear by this, and some people are like me and think that it does nothing. Now, I've already filled in my eyebrows today. I really like the brush on this. I think it's really tiny, and I think it's perfect for the eyebrows. However, I think this is designed, it's definitely aimed at people who have fuller eyebrows. So I don't have any eyebrow hairs. I have to fake the eyebrows that I have because they are so sparse. Yeah, 90s kid over here, plucked all my eyebrows out and they never grew back. So I need something a little bit more powerful. I need something that's going to cling onto every teeny weeny hair, and this just doesn't do that. It gives you a really natural soft hold. So if you have big bushy brows, you're gonna love this, but if you have eyebrows like me, nah, it's not something that I ever use. I don't like it. So yeah, this is not something I would recommend for people with eyebrows like me. So sparse brows, you're not gonna like this. It's just not giving, unfortunately. But this is probably the worst product that we're going to talk about today, and I'm happy that we're getting the negatives out of the way first. We are going to go in with one of the Dior eyeshadow palettes today. However, I did just want to mention this product that Dior have released recently. This is the Diorshow Flash Stick. It's just an eyeshadow stick. So these retail for €39, which is very, very expensive. I picked this up in the shade 658 Beige Mitzah. Now, I reviewed this recently. I did say that I wouldn't really pick another one of these up because I don't think that they're really anything different to any other eyeshadow stick out there. However, I think that this eyeshadow stick gets me the most compliments that I've ever had on eyeshadow, genuinely. And these are very, very easy to use. So they're not super duper creamy, but they just apply like a dream and they set down and last all day. That's the shade Beige Mitzah, and I did just want to show you that just in case you were considering one. Look, I think I was maybe a bit harsh saying that I wouldn't buy another one. I think I wouldn't buy another shade, but if this ran out, I probably would repurchase it because it just goes with every look that I'm going for. This is one of the satin finishes, but you can have a holographic finish or you can have a glittery finish. So yeah, it is really pretty. I would recommend, but I still think there are better eyeshadow sticks out there for a lot less. So the palette that we're going to use today, I've had for so long, honestly. This is one of their quints. There are 5 eyeshadows in here. These are the Diorshow 5 color limited edition palettes. So this is the shade Rose Moire, and it's really, really pretty. If you are used to buying Natasha Denona eyeshadows, you're probably going to be a bit disappointed with an eyeshadow palette like this because it doesn't have the same pigment and payoff as, for example, Natasha Denona. These are more soft, more light, more airy, more ethereal. The first time that I used this, I was a little bit disappointed because I just expected more for my money, I guess, because this is €72 for this. But I don't have that criticism of it because I know what Dior are going for here. So this is supposed to be really soft. It's not supposed to be eyeshadow that you can see from space. So anyway, this is definitely still available. I mean, is it worth €72? Probably not. Probably not, but I still really like it. And this colour story is just beautiful. So I think we'll go in with the one matte in the palette down here. And I'm going to use my Refa 16 today. Now it does have a mirror in here, which is appreciated. Well, it should come with a mirror with the price. This packaging, although I do like it, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? It's different, but it is very plasticky. It's not the worst packaging I've ever seen. So just taking that just as a bit of a transition, but into the crease as well. This is definitely an eyeshadow palette that I reach for when I'm going, I don't know, maybe I'm going out for a meal, going out for drinks with friends, something like that. This is definitely a palette that I reach for because I know it's just going to be really easy. I did already prep my eyelids, by the way, just with my NARS Pot Concealer. I'm just going to take a BK Beauty 209 brush and I'm just going to bring that shade underneath the lash line as well. So I think we are going to go in with this shade here all over the lid. And you can see that there is a nice payoff with it, but it is still very soft. I always like to apply satins and shimmers with my finger because I just get a better payoff and I just feel like I have a little bit more control of it. Very pretty. And bring that right up to the crease. I think this is great for people who are a little bit afraid of colour but want to dive in a little bit because you have like a mixture of brownie nudes in here, you have lilac, you have a little bit of blue popping through as well. But we're going to go for this shade in the middle and all we're going to do with that, that's the lilac-y shade, we're going to bring that just in the centre of the eye, just for a little pop. I just think that is so pretty. I'm trying to use all of these shades in here today, so we'll go in with a little bit of this one. This is more shimmery than the other ones and it has a little bit of blue going through it. Going in with my Refa 21 and I'm just really pushing into the shade and I'm just going to bring some just here, just near the outer corner. It'll just give a tiny bit of dimension, but still remains really soft. I'm just going to finish off with this lightest shade, and I'm going to take a Morphe M383 Eye Detail brush, and I'm just going to bring that into the inner corner. Now, I am actually going to use a highlight in the inner corner, but I'll show you that later on. I do understand why people who use indie brands or they're used to Pat McGrath or they're used to Natasha Denona, they expect that level of pigment and payoff, and I can understand why you would be disappointed with this eyeshadow palette. But I think if you take this for what it is, very understated and effortless and elegant, I actually really like these eyeshadow palettes, but I do think they are very, very pricey for what they are. So we're going to move on to mascara and we're going to be using this from Dior. This is the Diorshow Overvolume Mascara. So it claims to give extreme volume and lash by lash definition and 24 hours of wear. Now, believe it or not, this actually comes in quite a few shades. So there's a blue there looks to be a pink, there's a brown, there's a burgundy. I obviously have the black because that's predictable. Now the brush would ordinarily be something I would be a fan of because it is a little spiky and I've had good and bad days with this mascara. I'll just be real with you, drugstore mascaras are my favourite. However, I really have loved Dior mascaras in the past. So like with a lot of Dior mascaras, this is definitely more of a volumizing mascara. And do you know what? It actually gives you a really nice amount of time to work with. So it's not going to dry down super fast on you. But it is going to cost you a pretty penny for this mascara. So it was €42, which that's a lot of money for a mascara, isn't it? A lot. Now, it's not particularly a mascara that I find clings on to every single eyelash that you have, but it does produce a really pretty amount of volume. So it's not going to give you kind of full thick lashes, but it's definitely going to give you a pretty amount of volume. I don't dislike this mascara, but I also don't absolutely love it either. It's okay. It definitely fans out the lashes. If I want that volume, something a little bit more fluttery and fanned out than usual, then I will go for this. But I just find, again, the brush is just a little bit spiky for me. Yeah, I think they make really nice mascaras and they definitely do not budge. So I don't get any flaking, no movement with this mascara. I think it just looks really pretty all day. Yeah, I would describe this mascara as pretty. Now, I actually do have an eyeliner. I'm not an eyeliner person, but I'm going to show you how I use this one. So this is the Diorshow On Stage Crayon. So this is just a waterproof Kohl liner. This is really good. Can I just say, I did keep the box. In the eyeliners and in the lip pencils, they all come with a sharpener, which I think is really good. And it's such a small thing, but I always lose my sharpeners and these are really, really good. So all of your lip liners and all of the eyeliners come with a sharpener and I think that's really good. Yeah, I think you're getting your money's worth with those. So these are €33. I have it in the shade brown. So it has a smudger on one side and then it has the pencil, the Kohl on the other. So this is brown, but it's a very, very deep brown and it's almost verging on black. Now, the way that I use this is I'm just going to use it in my waterline. Now, I know some people don't like this. I think it just gives a little bit of depth to the eye because I didn't have a deeper matte eyeshadow. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Do you know what? We could take some on the lash line a little bit. I'm going to take my Sigma E06 winged liner brush and I'm just going to brush it onto the pencil because it's soft enough to do that. And then you can just bring a little bit on the lash line. Now, I probably should have done this. I should have done this before I did my mascara, but you know, I like to make life difficult for myself. Yeah, I like that eyeliner. It's really, really nice and it is literally budge proof, see? See that? It's completely budge proof. There's no budge in that, honestly. It's not going anywhere. Let's move on to concealer and we're going to be using this from Dior. This is the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. So this was reformulated a few years ago and I got it when it was reformulated. I have this in the shade 1.5N. Now I'm going to say that 1.5N is definitely a little bit too light for me. I don't know why I got 1.5N in the new one because in the old one I was 2N. So I don't know what I was thinking. Now this retails for €40. So we're going to pop this concealer on with a BK Beauty A506 brush. So we'll just go in over here. Now this is a full coverage concealer, I would say, and it feels quite thick when you're putting it on, but it definitely blends out really beautifully. This is a concealer that I used so much. It used to be an absolute holy grail to me, but then other ones just came along and yeah, turned my head. That's the problem when you have a channel like this. And it's a very reliable concealer and definitely one that I would recommend to people. It's just one that I forget about. Yeah, it is. It's sad that, isn't it? I hate that. I hate that. Now it claims 24 hours of hydration and I would say that this does feel like a hydrating concealer. Now, it doesn't feel serumy. There's nothing serumy feeling about the concealer. It does feel kind of substantial and kind of thick, I guess. And you can feel the full coverage nature of it, but it's not cakey or heavy at all. And you can see how much it did just cover those dark circles of mine. Now it is buildable, so we'll just use a teeny bit more. So this is a multi-use concealer, and actually my foundation today is too dark for me, so I am going to use a little bit of this around the face as well, probably today. And it's great around the face. It really is lovely. Now, how much do you get in here? Do you know how much you get in here? 11 mil. 11 mil of product. That is massive. It's huge. And actually, one of the great things about this concealer is I do find that it's self-setting. So it definitely gives, in my opinion, a soft matte finish. It's just one of those reliable concealers. It is. And it's definitely one that I would recommend. It's really nice. for foundation, I actually have two foundations here, but obviously we're only going to put one on. We have a liquid foundation and a stick foundation. Now, I did just want to mention this. We're not going to use this today because I've used it so many times on the channel. This is the true holy grail product to me. This is my second, the Dior Forever Skin Perfect foundation stick. I have this in the shade 2.5N. Every time I wear this, I just love the look of my skin. I think it's the most stunning foundation. I really do. 59 euros, but it's worth every single penny. Again, it's my second one of this. I love it. But today we're going to go in with this newer foundation from Dior. This is the Dior Forever Skin Glow. I also have this in the shade 2.5N. Now this is a reformulation of the old Forever Skin Glow, which I didn't have. There is 2.5N in the liquid foundation, and this is 2.5N in the foundation stick. Honestly, these are both stunning. I think if you're looking for longevity and blurring, you would probably go for the liquid foundation. Now, it does come in two different finishes. So this is the glowy version, but there is a blurred soft matte version as well. I think from what people have said, it's more of a satin version, but I will tell you that this is incredibly beautiful. Okay, it's very blurred. However, this is not a foundation that I wear on a daily basis because it's just a little bit too much for me. I'm going to blend this out, by the way, with my Mario F4 brush, my Makeup by Mario F4 brush. So I'm just going to tap into that a little bit. This, for some reason, this shade is a little deep on me. I think in a couple of weeks, it'll be absolutely fine. But it's, yeah, it's a little, it looks a little orange on the skin on me. I don't think it oxidizes though. I think it's just the shade. This definitely feels a little makeup-y at times, but I think there's a time and a place for it. Again, it's very perfumed. And again, it cost 59 euros and you get the standard 30 ml of product. Let's get this hair out of the way. This honestly is one of the most not only blurring foundations I've ever used, but definitely one of the most long-lasting foundations that I've ever put on my face, honestly. So I've got a couple of weddings to go to in the summer, and I know that this is the foundation that I'm going to be using for both of the weddings because I know that once I put it on, I'm not going to have to worry about it at all. This foundation actually does contain an SPF. This one contains an SPF of 25, and I think the matte version is a little bit of a lower SPF, maybe 20. Yeah, this really is, it's great, and it's high coverage as well. I'd say this is a high, medium to full, definitely. The great thing about this, and as it says in the literature, it's formulated to withstand humidity and sweat. On a daily basis, it's just too much for my skin. I prefer something a little bit more natural on a day-to-day basis, so a skin tint maybe. But this is, it's really beautiful, it is. But not only does it contain fragrance, it also contains alcohol, so that is something to bear in mind. I do have a sneaking suspicion that this possibly does oxidize a little bit on me. It has gone darker, hasn't it? I think that no matter what your skin type, you would really like this foundation, honestly. I think it's for everybody. We're going to move on to a bit of bronzer now, and we're going to be using this stick from Dior. This retails for 57 euros, and this is the Dior Forever Skin Bronze. So just a bronzing stick, but this is premium. It's so beautiful, honestly. So I have this in the shade 03 Light Medium. It claims to be a cream bronzer that will leave you with a natural finish. And the shade is perfect as well. It's quite neutral on my skin, which is good because today I don't feel like my skin is looking very neutral. So I'm going to use my BK Beauty A507 brush for this bronzer. And I'm just going to go in just on the cheeks there. And this just blends out so dreamily. Look, I have a lot of bronzing sticks and a lot of them do kind of roll into one, but this is definitely different. This is different simply because I find that this bronzer is I don't think it claims to be, but for me, it's like a cream to powder formula. So it definitely doesn't have any real luminosity to it or radiance, but it just sets down and it just lasts so beautifully. And it definitely filled a gap in my bronzing stick collection for sure. It is really, really buildable. And obviously, like you can see, you can apply it directly to the face. It won't disturb anything that's on underneath. I really adore this. I don't normally use cream bronzers if I'm going on, you know, like a night out, if I'm going out for some food or something, you know, where I'm going to be out in the evening time, I'll usually go in with a powder bronzer. But yeah, I would definitely use this bronzer for a special occasion, 100%. Very, very effortless and super long lasting. Yeah, genuinely. I mean, what more could you want from a bronzer? It's gorgeous. Moving on to blush now, and my favourite Dior blush is this one that I have spoken about again recently. This is their Rosy Glow Stick, and this is absolutely beautiful. So it retails for €46, and it is just a cream blush, and this is one of my absolute go-tos. So that's the shade Rosewood, which is 012, but I have used that recently in a video, so we're not going to be using that today. It gives quite a glowy finish to the skin. It's just really beautiful. The way the light just reflects from this is just gorgeous. And for dry skin, well, it's made for people like me with dry skin. So these are the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow Powder Blushes, and this is one of the new shades, and it's just magnificent. It really is. This is the shade 107 Dragonfruit. So that's Dragonfruit on its own, and it's just a beautiful pinky mauve. And there it is on my hand. It's really soft, it's really beautiful. And as you can see, the cream blush is very reflective, very glowy, whereas this has a lovely, I would say, a satiny type finish to it. Now, I did want to mention that these blushes, both of them, claim to be pH activated. I'm really not sure about that. With either of these, I don't think that either of these are particularly pH activated at all. So for this, I'm going to use a BK Beauty N15 brush. Now these are fairly pigmented. I'm just going to brush it onto the cheeks. You can see there how soft and pretty that is. Isn't it the most wonderful shade? Now I find that this brush gives me a little bit more of an intense payoff, but I really like to apply it with my Morphe M160 brush as well. It's a little bit more fluffy. So again, I'd say this is a satiny finish, so it's definitely not like a complete soft matte like the recent blushes that I reviewed from MAC. They were definitely a matte finish, whereas these have a little bit of a subtle radiance, but not shimmery, definitely more satin leaning. And I just think this is so stunning. I know I keep talking about these weddings that I'm attending in the summer, just because I've not had a wedding to go to in so long. I mean, I'm almost 44. Most of my friends are married now. I am constantly thinking, what am I going to wear to this wedding? And what makeup am I going to wear to this wedding? And I'm wearing this blush, okay? I don't care what outfit I'm wearing this blush. Did I even tell you the price of this? It's €43. I mean, just the prettiest. This shade, everything. It really is. Right, let's move on to this new product from Dior. This is the Dior Backstage Glassy Glow Stick. So it's basically a highlighter, and it's definitely a balmy consistency. So this retails for €46, and I have the shade 034 Glazed Bubble. Now, this gives you 6 grams of product, which is massive for a highlighter. I mean, how much are you really going to use of this? This has a really strong fragrance. So that's the shade Glazed Bubble, and this is a very wet looking product. My other favourite from Dior was this. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. I feel like this might have been reformulated. This retails for €58. This is the Universal palette. 4 different shades. You can use them as highlighters, blushes, bronzers, but they are glowy. I am first of all going to go in with that Morphe brush I used from before, the M383 Eye Detail brush, and I'm going to go into that lighter shade, and I love this for the inner corner. It's so good. But because this is new, we're going to go in with this. Now, I really haven't figured out how I like to apply this. So I'm going to play it safe today. I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques concealer brush. Now this shade, Glazed Bubble, it's kind of champagne-y. I'm just going to pop it just around here. Now it definitely does give you that wet look to the skin. You can see how intense it is there. It's really pretty. Now it does really remind me of the L'Oreal Lumila Glass. I think this definitely has a little bit more impact, but look at that. I mean, it's very pretty, isn't it? It's very pretty. Just so you know that they have a ton of shades in this highlighter. They have lavenders, they have a bronze, they even have a glazed mint. I mean, I can't complain. I do love that. So nice. So one product that I did pick up was this one. This is the Dior Backstage Airflash Mist. Now I did and ah about this because I'd heard and read really mixed reviews on it. So it retails for €41 and it claims to be a makeup setting spray which gives you 24 hours of wear and hydration. Now I always take setting sprays with a little bit of a pinch of salt, and I was also worried about the fragrance with this, and it does have quite a lot of fragrance to it. Now it's not bad. It's not really bad, but the mister is a little bit aggressive, a little aggressive. Now I like to put setting spray on before I go in with powders. So I'm going to use it now and then we're going to go in with a little bit of powder. It does feel absolutely lovely. I will give it that. And you don't really get overwhelmed with the fragrance. I mean, I'm still in the early stages of it, but I do like how it makes my makeup look. So I feel like it does melt everything together, and it definitely does help everything to stay in place for longer, I feel. Do I think you need to run out and get it if you already have a setting spray in your routine? Definitely not. I actually really like it, and I think it looks really pretty. Yeah. If there's one thing Dior gives us, it's really nice packaging, and I appreciate that. Now, I honestly don't feel like I need a whole lot of powder today, but we're going in with it anyway, and we're definitely going in with this product because it's one of the best products I've ever put on my face. This is the Dior Forever Nude Matte Filter Pressed Powder. I don't stop raving about this because it's so insanely good, and this is coming from someone who is a bit of a powder hater. I don't really use a lot of it. So first of all, look at the packaging. It's got this leather style packaging. It's really gorgeous. It is. This is the lightest shade, and this is in the shade 02 Light. This is the most undetectable powder you will ever put onto your face. I think this is blurring, it's smoothing, but it's just so flattering. You cannot notice that you've put powder on. It's just so special, this powder, honestly. I love it. I'm going to use a big fluffy brush for this. This is the Real Techniques 219 brush, and it's just a big fluffy brush. And all I'm going to do is take it down the center of my face. I don't know if you saw there that it just blurred that section, you know, where I had the highlighter. Oh, this is amazing. And it lasts all day. It's just insane. It is. And for me to rave about a powder, it's saying something because I just never do it. Now, I don't feel like I need to set my under eyes, and I don't generally use pressed powders under my eyes. However, I do think that you can use this under your eyes if you wish. So this is the other end of my Morphe M160 powder brush. I'm just going to brush it under my eyes. Just ever so slightly. So good, isn't it? I've got a ton of lip products I want to talk to you about when it comes to Dior because I absolutely love Dior lip products. So I'm going to say that my favorite Dior lip products are these. These are the Dior Addict Hydrating Shine lipsticks. I have so many of these because they are just insanely good. Now, I'm just going to swatch one of them on the lips for you. I'll show you as many lip products as I can. So these retail for €48, and yeah, just so good, just really good. I'm not going to swatch all the shades I have for you, but I'm just going to show you one on the lips. This is the shade 329 Thai and Dior. Now, this is a product that I wouldn't generally go for because it has a little bit of a sheen to it, but I find that that goes with this look quite well. So it's just really soft, pretty. It's a very cool tone shade. So you can see the beige in there, but you can see the lilac. And I just think it's so unbelievably pretty. The lip products are around the same price, 48 euros. So I also have these as well. These are the Dior Rouge On Stage lipsticks. These are absolutely beautiful. So these are another high shine product and so long lasting, absolutely beautiful. And they will give you more of an intense payoff, whereas these are more balmy feeling. This is more of a traditional lipstick. Dior have a bunch of lip glosses. These are some of the newer ones. These are the lip glow oils. A couple of shades here. Latte. This is the shade Rosewood. Let me show you this. They have this massive doe foot. These are really nice, but they are quite thick. And, you know, people did come back to me and say, oh my gosh, I couldn't stand the feeling of it on my lips because it's very substantial. Yeah, it's very there on the lips. And although that means that it's quite long lasting, it's definitely not going to be for everybody, but I still keep these with me in my handbag. I carry them around. They feel slightly cooling. They're not plumping, so there's no tingling, but they definitely fill out the lip lines, and I just think they're really, really nice. But today we're going to focus on these new glass shine lipsticks that Dior have released. So these are Dior's first lip gloss lipstick. You do twist them up, but you can twist them back down, which is appreciated. Again, these are 48 euros. Now, these are really, really nice. So I have two shades here. And yes, the lipsticks are fragranced. They have that usual Dior kind of vanilla-y fragrance to these. It's kind of nice. In fact, if I've got some footage now, I will insert that for you. Before we go in with them, we're going to go in with a lip liner. Now, these are insanely good. These are the Dior Rouge Dior Contour lip liners. So with these lip liners, as I mentioned with the eyeliner, you get a sharpener in the box, and these come with a lip pencil on one side, but you also get a little lip brush on the other side. And I just think that's such good value for money. So these are 31 euros, and I think that is worth it. For those three things, I genuinely do. So here's 300 Nude Style, which is a little bit on the warmer side, and then 310, which is Beige 2, which is my favorite, is a little on the cooler side. So we're going to go in with that. These lip liners are insanely long lasting. So my other favorite lip liners from high end would be the Westman Atelier. They are a lot more creamy, but not as long lasting as these. If you want a lip liner to stay on your lips, no matter what, they are worth every teeny tiny penny, honestly. And that's coming from somebody who loves drugstore lip liners, but these Dior lip liners, they're really good. I cannot even deny it. So we're going to take Dior Sweet and we're going to go in over the top of that. And just to show you these lip liners, how no budge they are, they are genuinely zero budge. They're not going to go anywhere. Now, these Glassy lipsticks, they are really long lasting. So they're not tack free, but they're not annoying, because if it was annoying, I would hate that. I love that combo so much. So that is it, a full face of Dior makeup. As with any brand out there are hits and there are misses, and I think you can gather which ones I like the most. There are so many premium products here. I just really love the whole Dior experience. I like the fact that I get really beautiful packaging when I order from Dior directly, which I would advise you to do, because you just get a little bit extra for your money. They always give you really good samples, and I just think you just get treated a little bit nicer. I always have high expectations, and sometimes they fulfill them, sometimes they don't, but more often than not, I'm genuinely happy with my purchases. If I had to choose one luxury brand for the rest of my life, it would be Dior. So please do let me know, have you tried any of these products? Do you love any? Do you hate any? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video, but until then, take care and bye for now.